Since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated by astral projection and lucid dreaming, and the idea of exploring these unseen realms has always captivated me. And when I saw this deck being released in November, I knew I had to get my hands on it, and here it is. The Astral Tarot Deck blends celestial imagery, animal symbolism, and the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot system in a way that is absolutely stunning. Hello and welcome, my name is Jay and this is Lunar Court Tarot, where I bring you new and exciting decks every week. And quick note about Lo Scarabeo, the publisher of this deck. This is becoming my favorite tarot publisher, and I've got another deck coming up for review soon. I haven't unpacked it yet and I have a really good feeling about that one. So this deck is a creative collaboration between the artist Federica Casagrande and astral expert Malupuela, and it's published by Lo Scarabeo, though strangely enough, when I ordered it from Amazon, I had a different publisher, Llewellyn, on it. So maybe it's published under with the rights under different publisher. I'm not quite sure. If you know the history behind this deck, let me know in the comments below. So the deck itself, when I opened the box, I was absolutely stunned what it looked like. Just have a quick look. So you met with two cards here, the High Priestess, and on the back, I can't remember which card this is, but we'll see it in the deck. It's a full 78 card deck, and it's got instructions in both, or in all, in English, Italian, Spanish, and I think Portuguese as well. So inside of the box, we are greeted by the guidebook, the deck itself, and I'm not going to show it to you now. I'm just going to build some anticipation there, and a couple of information card on Lo Scarabeo, which I would like to explore a bit further. Let's have a quick look at the deck and guidebook, sorry, and I'll talk about how the deck is structured. So it's a small booklet. It's got different languages that I mentioned. It's pretty stock standard. The guidebook you've probably seen before just gives you a bit of information on what this deck is about. The way it's structured, you've got your major arcana card pretty much in the same structure as your Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Then the cups are replaced by sea creatures, fish. Then your swords are covered by birds, and then you've got pentacles covered by mammals, and the wands are lizards and amphibious type of creatures. You will see all in a second. Now here are just a couple of spread examples, and it moves into major arcana. The booklet itself is good print, good quality, though the letters are a little bit small, but again, because it's modeled on Rider-Waite-Smith, you may not actually need to consult the deck. The cards themselves, I want to say, this is really what I imagine the Italian type of product looks like. They're very fashionable, you know, this very sleek. They got a gold print on the side here, and the cards themselves, they really slippery. It's almost like they glide in your hands when you move the cards around. So let's have a closer look at the cards. This is a full, the Magician. I like the infinity symbol. It's made out of this floating red cloak. The High Priestess you're already familiar with from a deck. This is the Empress. I think it's a European Union almost symbol flying over it. Maybe you can tell me what it is in the comments. The Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, absolutely stunning card. And you can see the celestial imagery I was talking about. There's planets and the stardust and constellation in the background. The Chariot take on this pretty similar. The rider looks like an emperor or a Roman soldier, perhaps. The strength of play on the traditional card with a lion, but slightly different relationship and take on it, but very similar cards. I'll share with you what I think who this deck is for, and how it can be used at the end of the video. The Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, completely different take on it, and look at the celestial imagery in the back. It's just a really beautifully done deck. The Justice, the Hanged Man, the Death. It's probably one of the prettiest death cards that I have seen. Temperance, and that's another card from the box image. The Devil. You don't have the couple chained to the Devil. It's more like an Eye of Sauron, I'll say, or maybe Reptile, and the Devil itself look pretty devilish. Tower, a lot of resemblance with a Rider's deck. The Star, another beautiful card. The Moon, very similar. The crayfish coming out of the water, and two dogs or wolves and constellations in two towers here. The Sun, the Judgment, completely different take on this. Rather than people emerging, this is almost like a phoenix, I want to say. The World. And now we're moving to minor arcana. So Ace of Cups, and as I mentioned, the minor arcana characters, they all sea creatures. 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups. Love these flowers in the cups. The 7 of Cups is another star ring, and a very similar take on the Rider deck. I don't think they deviated significantly from the original meaning of these cards, though obviously the characters have been replaced. Instead of people, you see creatures here, at least on in minor arcana. Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups. And knights all have horses as well. Queen of Cups, the King of Cups. And moving to Wands, the Ace of Wands. Now wands are represented by reptiles and amphibians. 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands. You can see how the cards are gliding in my hand. It's very very pretty deck. It's all very different feel from other decks I reviewed so far. And if this imagery speaks to you, yeah, it's exactly the same feeling that I had when I saw it online. 10 of Wands, Page of Wands, and you'll get a chance to see when I do one card read what the actual reading looks like with this deck. Queen of Wands. Those cards just don't want to stay in one place. Okay, just keep going in every direction. Just they have a mind of their own. The Ace of Swords. That's another. This a ring of stars. I think it's a pelican. So we are into swords territory, and this is all birds, and really pretty ones too. The 5 of Swords. 6 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and it's pretty similar to the 10 of Swords in the Rider deck. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords is a mighty eagle, a card of action. And if you could guess what this bird is, I'll give you a hint. It lives in Australia. That's a pretty bird, but also can be very territorial and dangerous. And moving into Pentacles territory, this is all the mammals. Got a giraffe balancing 2 coins. zebra. This looks like a baboon to me. Nine of Pentacles, War Horse, the Mighty Elephant, the Six of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, a Rhino, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, three leopards, and a golden looking dog in the back. It's a gazelle. Come on, I'm gonna take a guess. Knight of Pentacles. As I mentioned, all knights have horses on this deck. Queen of Pentacles, and finally the King of Pentacles. Of course, it's a lion. So look at all the cards just won't stay in one place. I'll do my best to shuffle them, and we're gonna do just an upright read. Alright, let me shuffle the deck and I'll tell you who I think the deck is for. So because it's using traditional Rider deck structure and the cards themselves have a very similar meaning, I think this deck would be for someone who's already familiar with Rider deck and understand the meaning of cards. And that's why I think the book itself is really small. The booklet, when you look at it, it doesn't have a card images there or anything like that. So it's expected that you would know what the meaning is, but you can always refer to the book and have a look, right? So it could be just a replacement for your the Rider deck if you're using traditional one, and much prettier version of it, I would say. The cards themselves are very, very sleek, but also super slippery. So you just keep trying to get out of my hands. The size, perfectly appropriate for someone with smaller hands. I think it's pretty much the same size as traditional Rider deck. So this is a card for someone who enthusiast and who's into beautiful things. That's my take on it. And let's do one card read. I'm gonna break a card here. And we've got the Wheel. Well, the Wheel, just the Wheel, not the Wheel of Fortune in this case. And just have a look. What do we learn about this card? I don't speak Italian or French, so we have to go into the English side. The Wheel. The armillary sphere represents a three-dimensional notion of the stars along the celestial vault. The luminous core of human consciousness puts itself at the center of the universe in order to study and measure the perfect mechanism of the stars. You know full well that you are not the center of the world, and that planets and stars chase each other through space, indifferent to your point of view. Yet you can claim the knowledge that you are at the center of your own universe. Let everything flow. Humbly claim to interfere with motions much larger than human understanding, but use a vantage point to draw information that is relevant to you in perfect balance between responsibility and faith. So look, I think also I've noticed when I was reading the guidebook, the meaning is a little bit high level. Like if you actually read it, it's not clear to understand what the card actually means. So I would say that this card is probably a deck for someone who's already familiar with the structure. You're probably not going to need this a lot, and you can just use any other guide to look it up. You can also do intuitive reading, especially for major arcana, because they haven't deviated significantly from the original meaning of the cards. If you look at these cards, you can tell, like, you know, Chariot is about the will taking control and action, and Lovers is about making a choice almost, and you can see the lady looks up, and it's very similar in a lot of ways. Now with minor arcana, I think that's where you probably want to consult your guidebook. But if you know a bit of history of tarot, it's only from Rider-Waite we started seeing the peep cards having imagery on them. If you look at any older, except for one, I think, traditional decks, they didn't have any imagery. So this is quite open to interpretation, and because of that, I think you can pretty much use the existing guides, or maybe derive a meaning from some of them here, like, you know, Queen of Pentacles to me resembles to a degree the traditional minor arcana cards. I hope you like this one. I've got another Lo Scarabeo deck is coming up for review, and one Oracle deck. If you like what you see, leave me a comment. I would like to hear what you think. If you want me to spend a bit of time on a particular type of a card, or maybe do more readings with the decks. And if there is a deck that you would like him to review, let me know. This is Jay with Lunar Code Tarot, and I'll see you in the next one.